What a profound insult to our intelligence that it's suddenly a big story that Joe Biden is in cognitive decline. The usual suspects who covered up his health issues and effectively gaslit Americans pretending there's nothing to see here are now heaping praise on a man, to be clear, was never fit to be US president. Don't give me a good general, give me a lucky general. That's the old military adage. And Joe Biden got very lucky when the pandemic hit in 2020. It meant that he could hide in his Delaware mansion and not campaign in that runoff against Donald Trump. Trump, of course, campaigned relentlessly, whilst Basement Joe, as he became known, was able to hide from the American public and therefore hide what any fool could see was profound cognitive decline. Anyone with eyes and ears has known that this man was in no position to have access to the nuclear codes, to be at the helm of the biggest economy in history, and to lead the free world. So this decision to withdraw from the November contest is 4 years too late, and it's too little too late. The credibility of the Democratic Party, who knew he wasn't right when they offered him up for election in 2020, and who lied to America and the free world about his ability to do the job over 4 years, is now torn to shreds. How can you believe a word the Democratic Party say, or take seriously their recommendation of any new candidate? They could offer up a scarecrow, and they'd promise you he's not made of straw. And don't get me started on Barack Obama, who tweeted the day after that disastrous presidential debate, which proved to be Biden's downfall. Obama tweeted, "Hey, we all have tough debate nights." It wasn't a tough debate night. Joe Biden's brain wasn't working. Lies, lies, and more lies. Anyone who thinks that Biden has been running the country for the last few years is clearly as divorced from reality as Biden himself. But whatever the extent of his input when not taking a nap or watching reruns of The Golden Girls has been an utter disaster. On his watch, there was the catastrophic and botched withdrawal of US forces from Afghanistan, handing a mineral-rich country and billions of dollars worth of US weapons to the wretched band of gangsters known as the Taliban. Biden's disastrous COVID response, which saw needless lockdowns, brought a once great economic superpower to its knees, not to mention mask and vaccine tyranny. Remember when Joe Biden said that if you get vaccinated, you won't get COVID? More lies. His administration has printed hundreds of billions of dollars, leading to eye-watering inflation. And America is now so badly in debt, it makes Katie Price look financially solvent. In the last 4 years, China have grown militarily and economically with designs on Taiwan. And is it any wonder that Vladimir Putin decided to try it on with Ukraine 2 years ago, given that the confused Joe Biden was the incumbent at the White House? Under Biden, America has descended into catastrophic wokery, with kids at primary school told that they're born in the wrong body or racist because of their skin colour. And just this week, legislation drafted in California by Biden loyalist Gavin Newsom makes it law for kids to be able to change gender at school without parents knowing. That's law now in California. Divisive and highly contested critical race theory has torn apart a once successful melting pot society with the disastrous influence of BLM, a corrupt organisation to which Biden took the knee. And then there is the southern border. 3.5 million people entered America illegally last year. You heard me right. 3.5 million people entered America illegally last year. If you don't think that is an economic and national security disaster for the United States, then I can't help you. Shame on the Democratic Party for letting Joe Biden take the job in the first place, and for the cruelty of keeping this poor man in office when it was patently clear and obvious to all that it was neither in the country's best interest or his own. Now, I was joined last night by America's best-known psychiatrist, Dr. Carol Lieberman. We just heard from her a moment ago. She actually reported his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, for spousal abuse, for encouraging him to remain president. Strong words, perhaps, but would you encourage your partner to do a job for which they were clearly not physically or mentally able? Just weeks ago, top media commentators were saying that Joe Biden has never been sharper. He's at the top of his game. He's whip sharp. Is it any wonder why public trust in establishment media is at an all-time low? We knew all along that Joe Biden wasn't right, that he wasn't able to do the job, and we were gaslit and lied to. What's that line from George Orwell? The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Getting rid of Joe Biden is now simply the shifting of deck chairs on the Titanic for the Democratic Party. It's going down. Love Donald Trump or hate him, he is now sitting pretty for a return to the White House. A sclerotic economy, a botched foreign policy, acquiescence to woke ideology, and a gaping open border have paved the way for Trump 2.0. The establishment tried to impeach Donald Trump. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to lock him up. But right now, Donald Trump is looking at 4 years in the White House, not the jailhouse. And now, tonight, news that disastrous Deputy Kamala Harris may well replace Biden in the race. That certainly means that Mrs. Trump should start measuring up for curtains in the Oval Office as we speak. The dishonest Democratic Party only have themselves to blame. Joe Biden was a bad president for America and a bad president for the world. This is a shameful chapter. Let's hope it's never repeated.